Okay, so guys, done this here. So what days? Oh, I don't even know what day we're up to. 333, 34, I don't know. Check out the title, it'll tell us, it will tell us what day we're at. Trying to not speak too loud at the moment because it's quite late at night, and the last thing I really want to be doing is waking up a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old at 11 p.m. So hopefully that the microphone is close enough that it's picking up my voice. So what I want to talk about very quickly, I guess, is I mentioned about what supplements I'm taking, why I'm taking them, how long I've been taking them, and so forth. So I guess let's just go with the supplements I'm taking at the moment, and I'm not going to worry about any of the supplements I've taken previously. I've never been on any illegal substances or anything like that, as an FYI. So I've never been on anabolic steroids or any testosterone replacements and stuff like that. So first thing I actually want to say is, though I don't currently take it, for a long period of time when I was growing and developing my physique and doing my bodybuilding side of things, I took creatine quite often. Now when I say creatine, I may not have taken creatine purely on its own. It may have been in a combination such as a pre-workout which combined with had creatine within it. The reason why I'm just mentioning this, even though I don't take it now, is pretty much I do feel as though it did improve my body physique. So, you know, not only did the extra energy from the pre-workout help, but I do genuinely believe that creatine had a major part to do with me enhancing my body and getting bigger and stronger. And it was just because I was taking it regularly where my body was able to, instead of creating a loading phase and a maintenance phase, it was a consistent maintenance phase for a multitude of years. I didn't take it every single day. You know, I probably took it 4 times a week, and then 3 times a week where I had a bit of rest away from supplementation. Okay, that being said, let's move along to what I'm currently taking, why I'm taking it, and how long I've been taking it, roughly. So number one thing which I've been taking for the longest I've ever taken any form of supplements is my protein shakes. So protein shakes are very simple for me. I take Whey Protein, which is a milk-based protein. It's essentially when they make milk, there's the top layer of the milk which they skim off, they process it, dry it out, turn it into powder, and then that's your protein essentially. So whey protein, there's different types of whey proteins: whey protein isolate, concentrate, hydrolyzed, and the list goes on. I take a whey protein which has been broken down a little bit more, so it's like a hydrolyzed protein, and that just allows me to digest it a little bit better because I'm lactose intolerant. It's just a little bit nicer on my gut and doesn't cause as much issues, whereas if I just take a pure, you know, whey protein isolate or whey protein concentrate, I will have some more gut issues and I may need to go to the toilet a little bit more. So the way I work out how much quantity and so forth I take of my protein is essentially, nowadays I only take it post-workout, or anytime I actually feel as though I'm hungry and I don't want to eat anything, I just have a protein shake. But generally I will take my protein shakes post-workout. I'll only have 1 scoop, which is roughly 25 to 30 grams of protein, and the rest of my protein intake is intaked from meats, dairies, fruits, veg, everything and anything which will supplement my protein. These days I don't go for a 1:1, 1:2, or 1:1.5 ratio. So that being said, is for every kilogram I weigh, I take 1 gram of protein, or 1.5 or 2. I don't do that anymore. I used to do it, and I used to go 1 to 2. So if I weigh 70 kilograms, I'd have 140 grams of protein in my diet. As I'm not bodybuilding or anything these days, there's no real requirement for me to do any of that. Next up is, what do I take, is ZMA, zinc magnesium aspirate. I used to purely take magnesium on its own, but then I looked into the benefits of zinc, and then, you know, sometimes I do need some vitamin B in me, so zinc, magnesium and vitamin B all in one is ZMA. There's different types of zincs, there's different types of magnesiums, and of course vitamin B. But the ZMA product itself works really well for me. I generally take it before going to bed. The reason why is it does help me sleep. The magnesium side of things helps me settle down and relax, and I generally have a pretty good night's sleep. People say they utilize ZMA for like a testosterone boost in a way. I've never really directly used it for that reason or manner, and nor do I, I can't say that it works in that direction or not. I purely take it because of the zinc I want in my body, because I don't think I'm eating enough quality foods that contain zinc. So I supplement it with the ZMA, plus the magnesium helps me sleep really well, especially if I've done a nighttime workout. Sometimes after doing a workout at night, it's hard to sort of settle down and relax a little bit, or if I've been studying, it's hard to switch off. So the ZMA helps me sort of relax and zone out and sleep quite well. How much of that do I take? It suggests with most ZMA bottles, for males it's 2 to 3 tablets, and for females it's 1 to 2. You know how much I take? I take 1 tablet. That's it. Before I go to bed, 1 tablet, and that's it. I don't feel as though I need any more, so that's all I'll take. What else do I take before going to bed? I take glucosamine because my joints aren't as good as they used to be. So probably the past 2 or 3 years I've been taking glucosamine sulfate, that is. There is proven data that glucosamine sulfate does work. It's got some decent literature reviews behind it. The reviews are predominantly, the evidence behind it is predominantly in knee joints. That's what they did their study on. I'm sure there's other studies out there, but from what I've read in the past, it was about the knees. The fact that it works with the knees, given that it's such a load-bearing joint, if it works on your knees, I'm presuming it would work in your shoulders, in your hips, in your elbows, in your wrist, and so forth. So glucosamine sulfate's a good one for me to take as well. How much of that do I take? It depends on what the packaging says. I can't tell you off the top of my head. I think it's 1500 milligrams in the capsule which I take. So, and I just take one of those per night. Something I've recently started taking is odorless fish oil tablets or capsules. The reason why I've started taking that, in addition to joint improvement, it's also good on the blood, and also because of the omega-3, something called EPA. It's supposedly good for mental health and well-being, and it can sort of improve if you've got any depressive moods and stuff like that. Not sure the efficacy of the research and the literature out there, but there is some evidence towards the EPA side of things, so the fish oils and the omega-3s and stuff like that, that it does have an effect on your mental health and can reduce, not saying it will eliminate, but can reduce depressive moods. I believe that's essentially all the supplementation I really take. From time to time. Oh, of course, my last one, which is probably one of my favorites actually, and I didn't say it. Before I go for a workout, I will generally mix some L-carnitine in some water. The doses it's a very small dose. I think it's like 500 micrograms that you're supposed to take. Because I've had it for quite some time, it's taken me a long time to get through, and I only take it when I work out at the gym, or doing more than one body part when I work out. And after a while, if they form into rocks and they clump together. I generally take a small clump, which is roughly 500 micrograms or so, and I just mix it in some water. If it's a bit more, it's a bit more. If it's a bit less, it's a bit less. But I don't take a whole teaspoon. It's generally like a third of a teaspoon, if that. And that generally it doesn't taste nice. It's got a bit of a weird metallic-y taste to it. But I mix it with some water and just down it goes. The reason why I take the L-carnitine is energy. And reading a little bit more into it, it's supposedly good for sperm health, mental health, as well as mental focus. So I don't know. I'll continue taking L-carnitine because it hasn't caused me any issues. I've had bloods done and stuff like that, and from what I'm taking with my supplementation, I haven't had any issues. Cholesterol, my renal function, my kidneys and all that. Renal is kidneys. My kidneys, my liver, and my metabolic side of things, like my blood sugars, they're all been pretty good for me anyways. And so I'm pretty happy with the supplementation I'm taking in. It hasn't been doing any harm to my body, so I'm pretty happy with that. That's all for now. Check out the vid. You'll notice I'll try and move to some music for my last 2 reps. See if you can work it out. If not, I'll tell you a voiceover anyways. Peace. Alright, now you know the secret to what I'm currently taking for my supplementation. Now, with some of those in play, what I used to take obviously was my pre-workouts, which contain my creatine. And some days, some months, I would come off of my pre-workouts to, because I'd get used to the stimulus, I'd take it away from myself and only have the creatine. And just so, the creatine pulls water into your cells just to enhance the size of your muscles, which therefore allows you to pull more nutrients in your muscles, and also it enhances your energy levels and so forth without having that stimulus. So that was super handy to have and to use. Other things I used to have were the branched chain amino acid drinks. And that's pretty much it. And obviously I'd have my protein shakes. So I generally had those 3 staples, and they were my go-to supplementations growing up. And before I started to look a bit deeper into supplementation and backing away from my pre-workouts and BCAAs. So the reason why I haven't gone into too much detail with how the supplements work and why I take them, well, I did talk for 12 minutes, but I didn't want to go into too much specific details with some of the supplements, only because I generally want you to have a look into it yourself. Even going on to the website examine.com, it'll say essentially that there is no evidence for a lot of supplements out there which people take, especially for bodybuilding and working out and stuff like that, that there is no evidence that it works, that it might work. So I think it's important for you to create a more informed decision for yourself in terms of what to put into your body, and why you're taking it and how much you should take and so forth. So it's pretty handy, that website examine.com. It is free. You do not need to sign up or anything like that. There are options that you can do to sign up, and it will allow you to have more features and stuff, but for everyday folk like yourself and myself, I don't think it's necessary. The music I'm playing in the background here is Drew Hill, How Deep Is Your Love. That's all. Peace out, guys.